Creating a personal crystal access point for use with the crystal web. In order to create your personal crystal access point, you will need, first, a crystal, and second, a place to bury it. The crystal should be one which feels right to you. The burying spot may be anywhere you choose, but must actually be in the earth. It is not necessary to have direct access to the buried crystal in order to use it for future workings, so feel free to use the backyard of an apartment or a public place like a park. Dig a hole in which to bury your crystal. A garden trowel will prove an excellent instrument for this, but any digging tool may be used. Depending upon the level of privacy, you may wish to use your athame, since this is a sacred act. The hole does not need to be large, but should be somewhat deep, so that the crystal will not be easily exposed by the elements or by digging animals. In this sense, the deeper the hole, the better. Now you are ready for the actual ritual. Dig your hole first, so that this is done and ready. Begin by casting a circle. Since you will be out of doors and may not be burying your crystal in a private place, you may want it to be a very simple circle. You can do it entirely in your head, imagining the circle around you, then silently calling the quarters and imagining them as pillars of white light. You may invoke goddess and god silently as well. Of course, if you're in a more private place, or you're comfortable being observed casting a circle, you may do the circle as elaborately as you choose. Hold your crystal in both hands. Above the crystal, imagine a three-dimensional tetrahedron of white light. Take a moment to imagine this fully. Then imagine the tetrahedron spinning clockwise. Become aware of your heart chakra. Imagine a ball of white light in the heart chakra, and when this is clear in your mind, imagine sending a beam of green light from the heart chakra into the spinning tetrahedron. As the green light enters the tetrahedron, it will change its shape, becoming a cube, still spinning clockwise. Imagine this transformation as fully as possible. Fill the cube with green light from your heart chakra. Once the spinning cube is filled with green light, the flow will reverse, and green light will return from the cube to your heart. Imagine the green light filling your heart, then your chest, then your whole body, as well as the crystal held in your two hands. Let the crystal become full of this light, so that it is glowing with green light and shining out in all directions like a green sun. Now place the crystal into the hole prepared for it, and cover it over with dirt. Place both hands directly over the now covered hole, and focus white light down into the earth and the buried crystal. Now charge the crystal to link into the crystal web. This may be spoken aloud or done silently. You might say something like, "O crystal, I charge you to link into the crystal web, becoming one with its energies. Through you I gain access to the web, which links my Correllian family worldwide." Now imagine a beam of white light coming from the crystal and shooting off in one or another direction underground. This is the crystal linking into the web. You may or may not be able to see what direction the beam goes in. This is all right. It's not imperative that you know just now. This will not be the only time you will use this crystal, and if you don't see exactly how it links into the web this time, you may next time. If you're good at visualization, however, you may find that you see not only the link created by your own crystal access point, but perhaps the whole web itself. Now that your crystal is linked, you are finished and should take down your circle, then clear and release all excess energy. To use your personal crystal access point in the future, follow these steps. Imagine the buried crystal within a cube of white light. Imagine the cube spinning clockwise. Focus a beam of energy from your heart into the cube and imagine it changing into a tetrahedron, still spinning. The crystal will then be open and may be interacted with. When finished, allow the image to fade and the access point will close naturally. Creating a remote focus point for your personal crystal web access point. A remote focus point is an object, such as a stone, crystal, or pentacle, which has been charged for remote working with your personal crystal web access point. A remote focus point is not necessary for remote working with your access point, but it can be helpful by providing a physical artifact to focus upon. You will consecrate your remote focus point in very much the same way that you consecrated your original crystal access point, beginning by casting a circle, moving through tetrahedron, square, and green light just as before. But when you come to the linking part of the ceremony, it will be slightly different. Place both hands directly over the focus point and begin to send white light into it. As the white light fills the focus point, speak to the focus point and charge it to connect to your pre-existing crystal access point. Continue to focus white light into the focus point until it shoots out a beam of white light toward the buried crystal access point. Imagine this beam going directly to the buried crystal access point and connecting to it. This beam of energy will open the crystal access point and establish a psychic tie to it. Continue sending energy through the focus point into the crystal access point until the crystal access point becomes full of energy and resistant to accepting any more. You can now let the image fade, and the focus point and crystal access point will close on their own. You can then take down your circle and clear and release all excess energy. To use your remote focus point in the future, you would use exactly the same steps to open it as you would use to open your buried personal crystal access point, changing it from its inactive cube form to its active tetrahedron form. Because of the energetic connection established between them, both will open at once. Also, when you are finished, both will close naturally. This October, the world of pagan voices comes together in one global gathering, the Pagan World Congress. 5 days, over 100 hours, speakers, rituals, music, and town halls streamed across the world. Join the conversation, shape the future, be part of history. The Pagan World Congress, October 9th through 13th, 2025. Online at paganworld.co.